Hello everyone, and welcome to another Monster Hunter World video. This is Thegameconomist, and today I'm fighting Arch-Tempered Lunastra, and I don't really have a script for this. I'm just going to kind of talk over it, maybe give you guys some tips, share my thoughts. This is my playtime basically. Here we are, we're running down into the part of the map that she spawns on. I've got the Fire Mantle rather than Rocksteady. I think that Fire Mantle is technically going to be better. Fire Mantle and Temporal Mantle, two mantles that will help you with her Supernova, which is by far the trickiest part of fighting Arch-Tempered Lunastra. Otherwise, she's just annoying like she normally is, but not too strong. Like, check that out. I'm just guarding right through her little fire breath there. Her, what would you call that? That's not quite, I guess it's a beam, right? And I opened up with the Wyvern Fire, so I get that on recharge. That's one of my favorite parts about using the Gunlance. The Wyvern Fire, it's not like overpoweringly strong in terms of DPS, but it's a lot of fun. And for whatever reason, I feel like it causes knockdowns pretty easily, the Wyvern Fire. I don't know if there's some, maybe there's some sort of internal, I know that monsters have a health bar for being knocked over from damage. I don't know if it's just the case that the Wyvern Fire does a nice chunk of damage, or if there's some other modifier that checks for certain damage types that causes the knockdown to occur. But yeah, for whatever reason, when I'm using Wyvern Fire, there's a better chance that I get that knockdown. It's probably damage, right? It's probably damage. So there we are. We have our first knockdown on Lunastra, easy peasy. And now that she's down, I'm just gonna use the charged shells as fast as I can. Really not that difficult. I got the, for my extra skills, I put points into my Palico, and he has the Shield Bash, or the Shield Spire I should say, and the Shield Bash is one of the skills, the other one being Shield Taunt, I think. I'm able to guard with my shield when I want to be a little more passive, I want to be a little more safe, and my Palico, which can't be killed, he just keeps attacking, so it's a nice little setup, I think. There's Lunastra running off to the other part of the map. I don't know if I should have sharpened here. I wonder what a speedrunner would have done. Obviously, a speedrunner wouldn't have. He would have used his wetfish scale anyways to go faster. And then maybe I think he would have waited. He probably would have swapped over to the Temporal Mantle and waited for the bar to turn tan. And then he probably would have used the wetfish scale. That's probably what he would have done. Of course, he probably wouldn't be using long shelling anyways, because in terms of gun lances, you can do more damage with melee setup or with wide shelling, right? Yeah. Look how little damage she does to me with her fire AoE, right? She's got that fire AoE, and with the Fire Mantle, and oh, I should have mentioned this, the feline skills. So obviously I took Bombardier, and I did that with the meal voucher. But the other thing that's interesting is I didn't go for like attack up large, which is what I normally do at the canteen. Instead, I actually went for elemental resistance, and that brought my elemental resistance up to 28, and I feel like that really helps when you're fighting a monster like this where a lot of her damage is elemental damage. Just bring your elemental resistance up, right? Look at that tail wag, man, she's sexy. I don't mean that. She's an animal. Oh man, when she's up in the air like that, it's super annoying, isn't it? You just kind of wait for her to come down. Like you could charge a shell up into the sky, but you never know when she's gonna jump down and damage you, or if you're gonna get clipped by that fire that she shoots out in a big circle. If you get clipped by that, you're gonna get knocked back. It's gonna be annoying. Yeah, she's annoying when she jumps in the air. You can see the health regen augmentations I have on my weapon really do allow me to take damage and just kind of heal it back up. So that's an important part of the build as well. Yeah, that's the right word. Just having those health regen augmentations on King Gold Exploder, I have 2 health regen augmentations. Of course, I'll show that at the end along with the build. A lot of speedrunners, what they do is they actually show you the build right after killing the monster. I think what I'm going to be doing from now on is I'm going to cut to the chest where you can actually edit the build, so that you can really see what the build is doing, like what decorations went where. That's kind of an important part. It's a little bit of an important piece of information. Like, you could probably puzzle it together in your head if you just stare at it for a while, but I don't know, I want to do it the other way from now on. I love the Temporal Mantle. It is the baby blanket. How do you lose when you're using the Temporal Mantle, honestly? Look at that, another knockdown. I've used the Temporal Mantle for so long, I've gotten better at using it as an approach. Like, you let the monster attack you, and then you aim into the monster, and then you're going to do that little flip right into the monster, right? The little Temporal Mantle flip. It's pretty interesting. Alright, now I'm just waiting for Teostra to show up. Teostra shows up about now. I'm trying to charge her feet. She's in the air again. Look at that. Oh, Lunastra. Her little tail wag again. You know why Teostra likes her. She's got that good tail wag. There he is. See, she started wagging her tail and he showed up. Okay, so at this point in the speedrun, I'm actually a little bit nervous because both of my mantles just ran out, and I'm wondering if they're going to supernova together or if I can keep them separated. In this case, Teostra starts to be a big butthole. He's jumped away, and I'm just going to try and escape upstairs. It actually works. For whatever reason, this does not work every time. Sometimes he'll chase you back up the stairs, right? He's going to chase you back up into the next area. And I've actually survived their bond easily. You just guard the whole thing. You just hold your guard up and you're fine. You'll lose a little bit of health to the DOT, but it's easy. You just guard the whole thing. In this case, Teostra stayed downstairs, so I get to just keep attacking Lunastra, and of course that really helped my time, right? There's that booty wag. And I'm back to shelling. Oof. Her little paw missed me there. And there's the next knockdown. That's what speedrunners love to do. They love to knock down monsters and keep them juggled. That lets you do more damage. If you're really having trouble getting through the run, she'll actually fly down to that other area with the falling pillars. If she does that, be sure to take your time and drop both pillars on her head. Especially if she's flying under one of the pillars, then you're going to get an automatic knockdown. You can see I'm crafting more max potions. See, in the past I wouldn't have done that. I would have just had 2 max potions and then that's it, you know. But now it's like, I got 7. Maybe it's a bad thing in a certain regard, like I waste them more, but at the same time, still convenient, right? Yeah, I could have just drank a health potion, right? A mega potion, there we go. I could have just drank a mega potion, but that takes longer, right? You can see I used the ledge there to reload my weapon, and she is hurting me up, so I'm getting full health again. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm nervous for her supernova. I don't have a mantle. If she supernovas, I'm going to guard it, and I'm just going to try and outlive the DOT, which is something I've done in the past. And there we go. The fire mantle is back. I'm safe again. If she supernovas now, I'm going to be okay, even if I'm missing some health at the beginning of the supernova. There's another wyvern shot. I got it off on her head. The wyvern fire, I should say. And yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of this build? It looks easy, right? Guard everything, charge shells. Charge shells are dealing like 110 per damage, or per shot. Oh, got a little greedy there. The fire mantle and my 28 fire resist makes it so that she hardly does damage to me, right? It's not even a challenge. There's the earplugs. Don't, you know, she can roar all she wants. It doesn't matter. I got earplugs. Right? Easy peasy. She trying to use her aerial attacks again. My little palico shooting her. Oof. Somebody told me that Lunastra is dealing dragon damage with her melee attacks. I don't think there's any way to prove that that's true. I didn't get dragon blighted, and honestly, it looked like she's doing normal damage with her melee attacks, so I don't know who claimed that first. Somebody mentioned it to me, and I don't think it's true. I don't know, we can test it if you really want. She's such a pushover. Okay, so she's getting ready to run off to her nest. I kind of like doing that when I'm playing in easy mode, but I want this fight to go by a little faster. I wasted a flash pod there. This really holds up the run, by the way. So you notice the first mistake I made, one of the flash pods missed. So I'm left with 2 flash pods, which means I can only stop her escape 2 more times. There's the knockdown. Notice I got that with the wyvern fire. Teostra is going to leave the area. Go away, Teostra. See, get out of the way, Teostra. How can you say he's your man if he doesn't protect you, right? He's like, oh, I gotta leave the locale. I know you're in the middle of fighting, but I gotta go. What kind of man is that? And she is gonna try to escape any minute now. She's gonna do it again, and I'm only gonna have 1 flash pod left. Another knockdown. Really terrific, see? Not just a defensive build. This is a damaging build. You'll notice the sharpness level is on the green bar. It doesn't really matter for Gunlance shelling though. Okay, here we go. She's trying to get away again. Next flash pod. So I get another round at her, and what happens after this is really what holds up my time. I could have gotten a better time. Maybe I could have gotten it down to 10 minutes. But essentially, I'm out of flash pods now. I should have had one more. And I didn't have the crystal burst ready in the lower part, the next area, right? The lower area. If I had that crystal burst already broken and ready to be picked up, I could have interrupted her escape one more time. Oh, there's the supernova. Notice that I have just a little bit of my fire mantle left, and I'm just guarding through the move. No problem. Check that out. Fire mantle lasted all the way through the supernova just by a little bit, and then as soon as the supernova ended, so did the fire mantle. Really coming in handy there, so don't forget to bring that with you. And then here we are, she's escaping for the last time, and I'm thinking to myself, I'll just grab a crystal burst and shoot her out of the air. But oh no, I hadn't broken one yet. So I break the crystal burst. Unfortunately, really long sheath time for the Gunlance, and she's already gone. I tried shooting her tail, but I must have missed. Yeah, if I'd clipped her with the crystal burst, she would have stopped right there in the air and gotten back to fighting me. Now I'm going to do this whole animation where I run all the way down. She's going to go to sleep, and I'm going to sleep bomb her, right? I'm going to do a wake-up attack. And even though this is easier, if you're just trying to beat her, even though this is easier, in terms of a speed run, it's actually a waste of time. Look at this. I even recharged my weapon. I didn't need to do that. I guess it must have been reflex. I must have been like, oh, I need to sharpen my weapon. But she's about to die, and I know it. And here we go with the Wyvern Fire and the barrel bombs. Boom, she's gone. Look how close she was. I probably would have shaved, what do you think, 40 seconds off of the run, maybe even a full minute, if she had not escaped that third time. If I hadn't missed the first flash pod, I could have stopped her escape a third time, and that would have been it. So, I'm all done fighting Arch-Tempered Lunastra. Finally, I'll show you my build and the augmentations. And that's everything. Alright, I want to thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time.